was there any kind of opposition or some kind of resistance from your family when you told them that I am going to join Indian Air Force, or they were very supportive?
No, no, no. I didn't have any resistance from my family. My
Okay.
parents were very supportive because my mother is a offspring of the Air Force, definitely.
Okay.
So she and my father both, they had never any objection in my joining the Air Force.
Okay.
And as you are mentioning about Bangalore, I would just like to tell you. So when we were in Bangalore doing my engineering, in my 7th semester, most of my friends had got their a project to do with good companies. I myself was doing my project with Amazon.
Okay.
Which was a very, very trendy and very well decorated office.
Yes.
You know, in the Divishri chambers, it was there in the beginning.
Okay.
So, but along with that, you know, I had the opportunity to do some bike races in Jakur.
Jakur Airfield. Okay.
And there is where I met the Air NCC CEO at that time, Group Captain Anoop, retired must be now. And when I went to him and he spoke to me for a couple of minutes, you know, maybe people radiate that kind of an effect that tells you that this is the person and this is the environment that I want to be like.
Right.
So that the group captain, the CEO of Air NCC, was my second direct influence to be a part of Air Force. And he also told me that by seeing you as a person and whatever you are speaking, I'm sure you will be able to do well in this profession if you join Air Force.
That is the same kind of energy I am getting. I'm literally getting goosebumps right now. Means if you could have seen, I'm literally getting goosebumps. I was about to talk about the Jakur field and Yelahanka airfield, because Yelahanka is also nearby, and I think Yelahanka is also one of the.
Yelahanka is the biggest training base of transport fleet.
Okay, AN32, right? And the
AN32, Dornier, Zavro.
Yeah. So, ma'am, I think my next question was, I think you already covered that part. That what was your journey from deciding that I will join Indian Air Force and the steps after that? Probably any young kid would like to know that, okay, once it was already in your mind that you have to join Indian Air Force, what were the steps while you were doing engineering that led you to enter into that training center for flying? So it will be really great if you can help me.
So, you know, Air Force, and as a pilot in Air Force, some of the key ingredients which is very useful, which I felt through my journey, is your ability to adapt, to learn things in a faster way. You don't have to be extremely brilliant to understand how the aircraft works, but you must have some amount of analytical thinking, critical thinking ability. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can, ma'am. I can.
So, and along with that, since I was doing engineering, it helped me to have a good analytical and critical IQ build-up. But along with that, since I had it in my mind that I would like to join Air Force, and defense is a lot about physical attribute also, I kept myself throughout the 4 years physically fit. I used to prepare myself for long runs. I used to take care of my exercises. I would be mostly playing some or the other sports. And sports also makes you extremely sharp mentally also. So an analytical approach towards studies, not the mugging up or not too hi-fi knowledge-based studies, but a general analytical approach towards studies and a proper conditioning of your body physically through exercises and sports are the way which will definitely help you crack the Air Force selection procedure and also help you in the training phases also.
So was it AFCAT at that point of time also, or was it a bit different?
No. So during our time, we didn't have AFCAT. But right now, AFCAT is the way. So it's better that you talk about AFCAT. In our time, it was we gave our engineering. I mean, during our engineering, we had to apply through the employment news, the advertisement that comes,
Hmm.
and then we had to send our results. So
Okay.
they would analyze all those things, and then they would send you a letter
Hmm.
for inviting you for the selection board.
Okay.
That
Service
is
selection board.
the service selection board, SSB. So I had my SSB in Varanasi, which is a 6-day
Varanasi.
program.
Okay.
So we directly went for the SSB
Okay.
after the selection, and
Okay.
from the SSB was the next procedures of medical and all the other.
Ma'am, I'll come to the SSB part. So I have asked this question to in my earlier interview also. While I did the SSB for technical entry, there were almost like 400 candidates who landed on the first day. Then it went down to 51, and then in the last it was just 3 guys who qualified. I was not qualified. I was out from the conference, right?
But why didn't you try again?
Ma'am, it was medical issue. I had two opportunities in Allahabad and Varanasi for the Indian Army, but
No,
unfortunately,
medical
I
is
think
something you cannot
yes,
help.
yes,
Yes.
yes, right. I think again that's my personal opinion. I wouldn't have been able to qualify. There were some reasons behind that, which I will not discuss over here. So, what was with you? Means were there a big batch of women's landing for the SSB, and then in the end, only few qualified?
Oh, in my case, you want to
Yes,
say?
yes, yes.
Yeah. So we were a batch of, I think, 322 or 324 girls on the
Okay,
first day,
right.
and within a couple of days, we were 76 left.
Hmm.
Somewhere about 70 to 80. I don't remember
Okay,
exact, but what I remember is finally we were 4 selected.
okay, okay. Right. So, okay, because we're talking about SSB, what happened in the PABT? Again, the same question which I have asked last time, because these are some questions which not everyone know. Girls or women who are means would like to know about the PABT. What happened with you? Is it like playing a video game, or is it something different? Because when we see videos in the YouTube, they show extreme gravity, those kind of things. So how was it different?
No, Shailendra, PABT is not exactly like playing a video game,
Okay,
because mostly in video game you use only your hands.
right.
Okay. PABT is a very, very, like, when I went and experienced PABT,
Hmm.
I was really amazed by the way it was designed.
Okay,
So PABT is something like you have in your leg, you have 2 pedals,
right.
you have a headphone,
Hmm.
and you also have 2 buttons in your hands,
Okay.
buttons or jockey, whatever you can say.
Right.
So, and in front of your screen, there will be symbols and colors and everything coming.
Hmm.
And they have given you a list of instructions.
Okay.
Like, suppose you see a red ball,
Hmm.
then you should tap your left leg.
Okay.
But if you see a blue square, you should press your right hand.
Okay.
If you hear a longer beep, you should tap your right leg.
Okay.
So, basically, at the same time, they are seeing the coordination of your eyes, ears, hands, and legs. That what you see and what you hear is at the same time with the reflex, can you transfer it to your motor skills, your hands and your legs?
So coordination between hand and eyes and ears and legs, basically.
Legs, yes.
How do you
because
react?
For flying,
how do you react to your situation or surroundings, basically?
Exactly.
Okay.
So it is just not a hand and eye thing. It also incorporates your ears and your legs.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, I will not extend this interview for too long, because I think you might also have some appointment down the line. So I have couple of very interesting questions. Any interesting incidents, yeah, any interesting story during your training? And just like
training,
we all have seen the movie Gunjan Saxena. That is what people know about in women's in Indian Air Force, right? How close was it as compared to what has been put in the picture?
Shailendra, if you would have told me about this, then I would have gone and seen the movie yesterday evening.
Okay, you have
because
not.
Right now I cannot relate what was actually shown there. Though I remember few bits because I had seen it long back.
Okay.
But so training happens in Air Force Academy, Dundigal.
Okay.
Which is about 40 kilometers from Hyderabad.
Hyderabad, right.
So the first day when I reached, after becoming an engineer from Bangalore, I had studs, I had some bands in my hand, I had a loose cargo pant and all that, and I entered into the training academy, and I was told to go to the place where all the new people who had come were being trained by a senior, not an instructor. So training, so in the academy, you know, you have your seniors who are there actually to groom you, to train you, and there are the instructors. But most of the time, you are at the mercy and hands of your seniors, who are ruthless in the beginning. So when I entered there, the first thing when my senior looked at me, he looked at me and he said, "What is this? A joker who has come?" So I, who was a yo thing in Bangalore, had become a joker for the academy. Okay, so I was made to remove everything, and then I was made to become a murga and stay there for some time. So the initial part was humiliation, obviously.
Right.
But next, the 6 months or the 1 year that I spent in the academy, I tell you, Shailendra, I knew what level mentally and physically a human can achieve. If you don't go to a place like that, you will never know what is your true potential. You know? So every day was an experience for me. There were times when we were made to eat and then run kilometers. We would vomit or we would exercise, but there was no stopping that because that was making us tough. Then, so everything in the academy was an experience in itself. I learned, I was a good swimmer, but in the academy, I learned to jump from a 10 feet diving, which I would have never done otherwise. In a city, you never get a place to dive from 10 feet.
Okay.
So I was shivering like anything, and my senior from behind just pushed me. So one push, after that, I got used to it. So there are many such things where you can break your inhibitions and you can know what is your strength. So that is what I remember about my academy.
I would like to put this thing in 2 or 3 sentences. So I can say that is what carved you for your whole life, and that is what helped you to overcome some of the fears that you would have if you would have been living a normal life.
Definitely, yes.
Okay. I would love to see that picture when you were entering into academy in that loose cargo pant, like a total Bangalore engineering girl, and then going to become somebody who is in Vardi, right? For the first 6 months. That will literally give all the girls out there a glimpse of what it is there to be in the training academy.